Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm Jan Clothier of Thinking Stamping, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in New Zealand. And today I thought I'd share with you this little fun card that I made with a set called Fun on Wheels. It's a fun card because it's a very simple, very easy fancy fold. I like it because it's very, very easy to do, and it really just turns a straightforward card into something very special with very little effort. So I thought I'd share with you how I made it. The Fun on Wheels set comes from the 2023 to 2024 annual catalogue. It's a bundle. So it comes with dies that match all of the major shapes, and it's got all these little bits like the wheel and that lets you build a little 3D push bike. So I bought it not so much to use in classes, but just because it filled a gap in my collection. You know, sometimes you just want a sort of a masculine card or a card for teenagers or whatever. And it's good to have a set on hand that isn't flowers and isn't tools and isn't all the common things. So really this is a gap filler for me, but I've made quite a few nice things with it, and as I said, I'm sharing this one with you today. So we'll start off with what you need. Well, obviously the Fun on Wheels bundle is a very good start. I also say I like the sentiments. I don't know, I might use high five, but I have used a lot. It's a good day to have a good day. And I like that too. At every turn of life may you find adventure. And that we're using that today along with the look at you go. Okay, so what do we need to make it? Well, I kind of based this around the DSP. Now the DSP comes from the Reach for the Stars suite. I think the DSP is called Stargazing. So I started with that, and the colours I've used come from that. So the two colours that we're using today are, in addition to white, Blueberry Bushel and Tahitian Tide. So what have I got? Well, I've got a card base that is Blueberry Bushel. And it is the standard card base that I always use. So the width of an A4 piece of paper, 21 centimetres, scored at 10.5 and cut at 14.8. Now, if you are an imperial measurement person, then just use whatever your standard card size base is, because this is my standard sized card base. So also, now I've got my piece of designer series paper, which is 0.5 centimetre. Oh, sorry, I'm just going to score that because I just need to score it. So we've got a piece of DSP which is 0.5 centimetre or 1/4 inch if you're an imperial person, smaller than the card front. So it is 10 by 14.3. Now, the way we turn this from just being an ordinary card into a little simple fancy fold is you just get your paper trimmer, you've got your standard fold, and you just score this one at halfway. So for me at 10.5 centimetres, that is at 5 1/4. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, and then back a bit. If you're using a scoreboard, there is actually a mark for 5 1/4 centimetres. So once you've done that, it's simply a matter of folding that back, and that gives you that lovely, simple, freestanding, but quite wowy little Z fold. So as we can see, that's going to go in there. Now the reason I did the fold now is because now we can see that instead of having a standard 10 by 14.3, we're going to have to do something different. So what I've done is I've taken a piece of Tahitian Tide. Now the size is 0.5 centimetre smaller than that. So it's 14.3 that way, and it's 4.75 centimetres that way. And as you can see, I've not only done that, but I've embossed it using the Metal Plate 3D embossing folder. So I need that. Now I need another piece. I need a piece of white that is the same size as that. So 4.75 centimetres that way and 14.3 that way. And what I've done with that already is I have stamped it with that little scooter image, and so that is going to end up in there. You can see how it's all taking shape. Now, in addition to those base pieces, we need some bits to do this and the inside. At every turn of life may you find adventure. So what I've done, you need another piece of white, and it needs to be big enough to take 2 circles. And I've used stylish shapes because I just love that beautiful stitched edge. So one of the largest and one of the second largest. Now you can do them both the same size, but when I'm doing a fold like this, I usually do 2 sizes, and that's because the large one is the front, and then you'll see when we put it all together, it's kind of nice if this one is a little bit smaller, because then you've got less stress about this one showing when the card is closed. So you need the large circle and the small circle. You need another little piece for the bike. Now the bike, I simply stamped it in Blueberry Bushel, and I used the die that comes with the bundle, and I've already stamped us a lovely bicycle to use. Now the only other thing, and this is entirely optional because I happen to have the Reach for the Stars bundle, and the Reach for the Stars bundle has this beautiful little, one of the things is this lovely little set that does stars, and the stars are the same shape as what's on the DSP. So I used a little piece of the holographic silver specialty paper, and I just cut a set of the stars, and I've used those as embellishments, but of course you could use any embellishments that you like. So the stars, the silver holographic stars, are indeed completely optional when it comes to making this card. So as you can see, once you've assembled all your bits, it's relatively straightforward, excuse me, relatively straightforward to do. So we'll start by just doing a bit of straightforward assembly. So isn't that lovely, that starry paper? If you've got a Star Trek fan in your family, it's perfect. Okay, so we're going to attach the DSP to the back of the card, or the inside of the card. Got a bit of wiggle room there if we need it. We've got our piece of stamped white, which is really giving us a place to write in the card. So a bit of glue, or if you're a tape person, use tape. And that's just going to adhere in there. And then our lovely piece of embossed Tahitian tide. It's nice on the debossed side as well, isn't it? Okay, so we'll just give it some glue. A bit in the middle since it's textured. Now you could do this, obviously you can do this with any set, you can do this in any colourway, but if you are using paper in the background, then it's a good idea to take the colours from that paper with whatever you do with the rest of the card. Okay, so now we've got this nice little Z, and so now we're straight up to what are we going to do next? Well, we're going to construct the front. So here is the largest of the stitched shape dies, and I've already cut it out. And so what I need now, the stamp that I'm going to use. So that's the bike we've used, that's the scooter that we've used, and then we're going to use this road map stamp just to give us some colour and interest in the background. So a bit of Tahitian tide. Oops. And all we really need to do, tap tap tap, is I'm just going to randomly stamp all over it, just to give us some background, and it doesn't matter if they overlap. It's just bringing in the colour and bringing in the idea of travel and transport. So we've got that nice one there, and that is going to end up there in the middle. Now we can attach that now, but the thing you do have to remember is don't get all carried away and put glue all over. You only want glue on the half that's going to go over the front. So halve your piece and only glue in one half, and that saves a lot of trouble later on. So where are we? Okay, so we want to try and centre that. Does it look like I've got an even gap both sides? Have I got, whoops, a little bit of glue, so I'll just twist it around. Okay, and I'm giving it a press because it's on a textured surface and I want the glue to get a good fix. Okay, so we've got that. We don't have any messy glue hanging over. So what we're going to do next is the inside circle. Excuse me. Now I've already worked up the inside circle. So if you remember, that was the second largest of the stitched shapes from Stylish, stitch circle from Stylish Shapes, and I simply stamped in Blueberry Bushel the sentiment I wanted, and then added in a Tahitian tied skateboard. But you know, obviously you can put whatever message you like in there. Now this is where it becomes quite useful to have done the center circle, or the center shape, slightly smaller than the front shape, because we want to put this in a position where it is not going to show when the card is closed. So let's just line that up. Does it look straight? Does it look central? Is it hidden? Right. All we have to do next is add in our bike. Now when I did the prototype of this, I put the bike on flat. You can put the bike on flat, but in my opinion it looks a whole lot nicer if it is raised up. It looks a little bit more like it's coming out to get you. It looked a little bit sedate when it was, it looked just a little bit sedate when it was flat on the surface. Now it does get a little bit tricky dimensionaling around here. So it's a very good time to just do a little trim on the edge and give ourselves some handlebar support that isn't going to show. I think we might get away with a dimensional in there. We will do if we just slice off the side. Whoops. Okay, just get in there and slice him off. Oh, I feel like I need to just put a little tiny little bit of support in behind there, so let's just see how that goes. There we go. Okay, so now we can flick off all the backs of that. And pop them where we want them on the front. Now, one other thing I didn't say, I think I might have omitted this when I was telling you all the bits and pieces that you needed. Of course, you obviously need a little piece for the sentiment. So I've taken a little piece of Blueberry Bushel and I've just white embossed Look at You Go. And I have cut it out with, again, Stylish Shapes, just that second largest banner from Stylish Shapes. Now, you can do two things. You can either just do that flat, or you can dimensional it up another level. I guess it depends whether you're going to post it or not, what you do in that respect. Me, I like a good bit of dimensional, so I will dimensional him on. But as I say, as a matter of preference, it will look perfectly fine if you just directly glue it to the bike. Okay, so again, I'm going to line it up with my grid paper in the hopes of getting nice and straight. Are you nice and straight? No, you're not. You're slightly uphill. And that is why you should never press the dimensionals hard until you have had a check. When you're happy, then you can give them a press. Now, the very final thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my little holographic stars. But as I said, if you want to use rhinestones, if you want to use nothing, you just do whatever suits you. But I'm going to add in some of these holographic stars that I've got here, and just popped a bit of glue on there, picked it up with the Take Your Pick tool. Whoops. And we shall have them one in there. Will that little one fit there? Yes, I think it will. So I'll just pop him there. And number 3, you can just pop over there. Okay. So that's just how easy that little fold is. And I think it's as a fancy fold goes, it's very easy to do, and I like the fact that whoever gets it can just get it out of the envelope and pop it on their table, and there it is, all ready to go. So I hope you've enjoyed making that with me, and I hope you'll give something similar a go yourself. I'm always happy to answer questions, and you can reach me through the contact details in the video description below and in the end card that are about to pop up. Of course, if you've seen anything that I've used today that you'd like to add to your craft stash and you live in New Zealand, then you're more than welcome to shop with me. And again, there's a link to my online store in the video description below and in the end cards that pop up. If you have enjoyed what you've seen today and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you don't miss anything new that I do. And above all else, everyone, happy stamping.